Okay. Yes, first information, we would like to record this webinar so anyone can have a look also in future from our channels. Then I think we can start with some presentation. My name is Alessio Gugliotta. I'm project manager at IET Manufacturing, and we are partner of this project that is called XR2Learn. That is a joint program, it is a European project funded in order to create, as you will see during the presentation, a quite challenging platform in order to create an impact in the space of XR technologies and education and training. The objective of today is to create, to start up basically a series of workshop and webinars where we want to show how we are working, what we are trying to achieve, and trying to engage and create a community around this platform. What we are going to discuss today, of course, that there is a very short welcome introduction from myself. Then I will introduce a bit about the vision and the target stakeholder of our project. Without spending a lot of words on this, I think that is more important that we go to the next presentations that are basically a demo of what we expect to achieve or enable to create by using our technologies, and then make first presentation of the core of our solution, that is the technologies and the platform that you will see during this presentation. And finally, we will discuss about creating this community, what type of involvement we are seeing in the project, and the next steps. Just a first remark about this webinar. It has been on purpose defined as general webinar in order to introduce the project. So there will be different background in the audience, so some technical people, more related to the XR technologies, and more in the educational space. As I said, this is on purpose just to show what we are doing, but then in this series of webinar, our idea is to deep dive the knowledge of the project, splitting a bit in the different communities, and I will discuss it later on. Okay, another information, we would like to listen to you, to your feedback, to collect some ideas, comments, any type of feedback that you would like to give to us. This is just an example of slide that you will see during the presentation. You can provide your feedback by using Slido. You don't need to install anything. You just, with your camera, to point to this type of QR code. Don't do it now. We'll do it later. And answer to the poll that will be presented. In some cases, a poll. In some cases, are questions. So if you have some questions, you can just post them, and then we'll try to answer on the time. For this reason, in the agenda, we have different, let's call it, one question and answer session to discuss what we have just seen, and not to do everything at the end. Okay, let's go a bit on the idea of what we want to do in this project. Just a few words about the context where this project has been created. First of all, from one side, we have the concept of the XR technology market. That is a quite emerging market. There are new development, there are new releases from the hardware point of view and from the software point of view, including mobile solution available, new glasses, whatever. So XR is a reality at the moment. It's not only for research labs. There are many application side, there are many initiatives in the metaverse, in the education, etc. And more is becoming, let's call it cheap, in the sense that anyone can try to start to use this type of applications and also develop this type of application. But what we are observing in the market is that these are mainly for gaming application, some entertainment application, not really in the educational space. Another important element at this market is dominated by US at the moment. And there is a clear need from the European Commission to push on this type of technology. So we need to create the European competitiveness in this market. The second stream that we are observing is the use of XR technology in education and training. As you know, the European Commission is pushing a lot in these years around the concept of education, upskilling and reskilling of trainers, of workers, of pupils, and so on. So there is a real push on also using this type of technology in this for doing education. And from the academic point of view, there are many documentations, there are many experience in using XR technology for education with good results, very good results. But if we move from the education of the academic space to the real space of the business space, we observe that there is a need to accelerate this process. So we have to move from the lab, educational lab, to the market. And what we have to do? Well, first of all, I think that there is the need to enable a connection, so facilitate the connection between technologists in startups, in innovators, large companies, medium companies in the XR technologies, and the educational experts. And then another aspect is to showcase that the gap of the cost could be in some way overcome. So we come to our idea of the project. The idea is to create, so our vision is to create a digital solution at the center that is able to connect different communities. And on top of this, in the upper part of this schema, you see the target stakeholder that we are targeting, starting from on the left side, the XR technology providers, up to the right side, the policymaker, and in the middle, all the type of organization that you can imagine in educational and training application development. So the tech providers in general, in education and training space, the material creator, the organization that produce, that deliver contents in education and training, the students, in general, the enthusiasts in this type of applications. And of course, they are not easy to reach because, as you can see, it's a quite long value chain. And the idea is to create a digital platform that in some way is able to provide benefit to all of them. How to do that? What we are trying to do is to create a platform that, first of all, is able to create a community around. Although, as you'll see later, we are not speaking really of creating community, but to creating, or better, linking different existing communities, because in each of these stakeholders, there are many communities. Then, speaking in terms of functionalities, we are going to provide some catalog, some tools, some features that facilitate the adoption of the platform, like the management of IPR by using NFTs. We will provide, as you will see later, some enablers in order to facilitate the creation of applications or make the application richer than the existing ones. We'll provide some beacon application, example beacon application, in order to see what we can do, what can be done, and maybe reuse some elements of this application. And then some supporting services in order to create application on demand, for instance, or supporting some communities in order to create an application, but also business support in order to create value out of your results. Here is the list of expected benefits that we identified during the first phases of the project, but this is just a very short list of the type of benefits that we can identify. For instance, for the XR2 tech provider, we can think about understanding the current situation in the market, reuse some existing technology for a new application, or better create new revenues, so improve the market position and increase the revenues of the company. And this can be reflected also for the education and training tech provider that maybe they are not aware about the benefit of XR technologies, and then they can use to some XR libraries in order to quickly develop new application in this space, or identify new ideas in order to create a new application. And then if we go to the materials creator, work with the tech provider in order to create new application, and saves time because you don't need to learn how to use XR technology or how to apply XR technology, but because you can engage with some tech providers. And then the organization that are in the educational training space, imagine all the academia, the schools, ourselves at TM Manufacturing, and so on, the way to create a new challenge, new interesting educational methodologies, new application, new innovative learning instruments in general. And then to the students that can, let's say, benefit of more engaging application and improve the quality of the experience and improve their skills. And finally, enthusiasts that can in some way engage with the community and create their own space, understand, and the policymaker and NGOs in order to understand what is in the market and what is going on in this type of applications. These are, of course, the benefits that we see, that we see, the main ones, but of course, maybe there are others that are relevant in this space. And what I want to do is make a first poll to all of you and ask you from your perspective, because I said the background could be very different. What are our expectations? So imagine that we are going to create a platform that is going to do what I have just introduced. So what are your expectations? Do you see any benefit in addition to those or repeating those that I already introduced, or challenges you see, okay, this is not possible, or it's possible only if you do this type of things? So feel free to point your camera to this QR code and start to post some ideas and feedbacks and so on. This is very important for us because I will see later, we can also in some way adapt our solution. For instance, I see now a very interesting, so it should be easy to use. Okay, also advancing policy could be very relevant. In this space, I think that the European Commission is doing a lot. There is a stream of activity related to what we call metaverse, where XR technologies are really an element. Okay, I see a lot of easy. That's great because it's very important word. Okay. See still people typing, that's great. Okay. Or you can go on in the meantime. You can just make a couple of comments.
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, please, you can do it.
Your platform name is X2Learn. Okay. So, are you planning to come in India or Asia covering this technology of XR or developing or accelerate the developers?
Well, that could be an idea. We don't have at the moment any prescription to where we want to deploy our solution. So in principle, yes, we can discuss. We can see how we may collaborate. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so my company name is Mentally. Okay, so we will provide same thing. Okay, like we are, our vision is making the Asia's largest mentor panel. Okay, for in IT field, giving one-to-one mentorship, and
Hmm.
we see there was so many resources, so many things, but and so many transitions happened in Web 2 to Web 4. Like we see AR, VR, metaverse, blockchain, lot of things. Okay, so developers are not know about it. So have any plan or have any opportunity to collab with you, because I'm from India, so I'm launching this platform Mentally.
Okay, I mean, as we'll discuss later, there is an opportunity to collaborate with us.
Yep.
So
Because you know India is the largest market of the engineers or developers.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you can see. Okay, we'll see later how to collaborate with us. Okay,
Yep, sure. Yeah, I'm happy to
okay,
collab with you. Yep, thank you.
great. So thanks for the polling. As you see, there are many interesting feedbacks. I mean, the I see very important words saying easy to use. That's an important element. It is one of the objective of the project to makes the development of the application easier. And a talent gap in XR technology. That's another important word element that we would like to probably address during these webinars or physical events and hands-on session in order to show how to use XR technologies. And I mean, we cannot, of course, create new XR developers, but indeed we can provide some knowledge on how to create our application. Okay, thank you very much. I think that we can go to the next part of the second session of this webinar. So what we are going to do now is to make a showcase of what the type of results that you may create by using our solution, so the target results. During this presentation, we will also see some key elements that will be in our platform that are what they call enablers. So there are the tools that you can use in order to create more challenging applications. And you will see some example of the results, what we call beacon applications. So I pass the word to Alexander.
Thanks, Alessio, and nice to meet you all. So I will talk about the first enabler, which is a product named Interact. And it's a Unity plugin, and we target the industrials. So people who are not familiar with Unity at all, but they want to train people for industrial tasks. Maybe it's a maintenance task, maybe it's for assemble a product, maybe it's for disassembling. And creating this in Unity usually requires high-skilled developer who know how to use 3D, who know how to optimize the model, who know how to program and develop in Unity. But we have another approach for this. We want to recreate the physical behavior of everything in your virtual world. So when you interact with objects, it should be as natural as possible. So if you want to open some door on a machine, the door should just react accordingly. You don't need to define any animation. It will just react like a real door because and thanks of the physics engine. We also provide a set of tools for ease of use. So people who don't know Unity, who don't know how to develop, can set up their virtual scene and can quickly create a simulation. Next slide, please.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yes.
So the first thing we will provide in Interact like to recreate the physical behavior of object is how to create kinematics. In mechanical engineering, kinematics is basically how object, our parts will move according to other parts. So for example, if you have a wheel, it will rotate around one axis. If you have a door, same thing, and so on. When you connect, join together, you can create basically any kind of mechanical system. It's possible to do this with Unity, because the physics engine, which is embedded in Unity, is targeted for game. And it needs a lot of expertise. When you need to create, for example, some joints, some kind of constraint, you need to know how to set up some kind of pivot points. You need to import your data in a certain way, which is not really easy for our target user. So what we did with this tool is that we create some tools. So for example, here we can see in this little animation how we can detect, how we can do some shape recognition on the 3D model to quickly set up some axes. So you don't need to modify your model. You just click and just drag your mouse when you want to create some axis. We also provide a lot of physical constraints. So when you have a crane, when you have maybe a car, any kind of machine, you can just recreate how everything is linked together. And this will be important for our next step. So next slide, please. We know how objects will move together in our virtual world, but if we just place the application at this step, it will be kind of boring. We can't really do anything like that. And one big things we need to add is the collision detection. Collision detection is a big part of our tools, and basically it's to avoid having objects that will go through each other. They need to react like in reality. So when they collide, when they intersect into each other, they need to stop. And the tool we created in Interact is also a custom physics engine for this, and it can directly handle complex models and react accordingly. So you don't need to be an expert in how you prepare the 3D models. You import your model, and it will just work. Maybe next slide. When you have this, collisions and how objects move together, this is what enables us to have natural interaction. You just need to tag in our tool that you can interact with this part, for example, here, that we can interact with cable. And then, thanks to VR technology, we can use finger tracking or VR controllers and just manipulate parts in your virtual world. We didn't create any animation. We didn't create any code. We just set up the physics behavior of our object. And then we are already able to maybe grab some tools or just to push some elements or to put some machine in a special position and so on. You can already plan your assembly sequence and you can directly interact this in a natural way. Next slide, please. At this step, we can play a bit in our virtual world, but what we really want to do is to teach people how to do some sequence. We also have a tool, which is also a no-code solution, where you can plan your assembly sequence. So you have some sort of graph, some sort of helpers to say, okay, you need to assemble this part, and then this one, and then this one. We already know how to manipulate the parts thanks to physics behavior. So if, for example, you need to place some kind of tools at a specific position, if you need to remove some part, you just say, okay, grab this part, and when it's at this position, you can go to the next step. And then, like we have some things that we can also find in other tools in this area to guide people. We have some kind of ghost element where you can see where you need to put the elements to go to the next step. Next slide, please. We also have a bunch of other stuff to simulate the virtual worlds. So for example, you can do cable simulation just to manipulate flexible elements and put this in the right position. If you don't have access to the 3D model, you can also import point cloud data, which also is useful because it's one less things needed to start your VR application. And then we can also use the data not only to teach people, but also to evaluate if our workstation we might cause any health issue, mainly related to musculoskeletal disorders. So, for example, if your body position is not good when you do the task, you can also see that in the VR application, and you can teach people the right gesture, or you can adapt the workstation. So basically, our goal with this enabler is to provide an easy tool for people who don't know Unity but want to create a training application related to assembly sequence, like in mechanical engineering, anything related to mechanical systems. And last, we saw the tool, the enabler. In the XR2Learn project, you will also have access to the Beacon app, so some kind of example app. What we present is a laser cutting machine maintenance process. So basically, you will have your VR headset, and you need to replace some kind of mirrors in this laser cutting machine. And you can directly interact with the machine, open the lid, and use your tools to remove the mirror and replace it with another one. This Beacon app was created with Interact, of course, and the platform supported is only Windows and basically any HMD that can be connected to a computer. You will have access to assets on this XR2Learn project. So if you want to know how it is done, if you want to study this, to know how you can create your own application, you will be able to access this. And that's all for me. I will let the floor now to Vasilis for another Beacon app. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to present you our Beacon App 2, which has been developed by Hellenic Open University. We call it VLab. This is the version that we have developed for the XR2Learn project. And it is a virtual biology laboratory with the following characteristics. It has realistic simulation and interaction with the various objects in the game. It has high-end 3D graphics. And also it follows the philosophy of modern commercial adventure games in terms of interaction and navigation and stuff. The purposes that our virtual laboratory serves are it protects the real lab instrument from damages. It also guarantees that the students can be trained safely without risk of accidents. And it also reduces the cost of the overall lab training, because especially for Hellenic Open University, because we are open university, students come to the laboratories once in a year. So they come for only 1 week or less, and they don't have time to train properly. So with this application, they have the opportunity to train virtually and then be more efficient when they use the on-site lab. Next slide, please. So the game engines that we have used for the development of the virtual lab are Hive 3D. It's a game engine developed by a Greek company. We used it in the beginning, but since 2016, we have been using Unity. And the platforms that we have made releases for are, of course, they are desktop for all operating systems, Windows, Mac, Linux, mobile as well. We have developed an Android version, a web-based version as well, and a VR version for Windows. And this is the VR for XR2Learn. This is the second VR version that we have developed. And the simulated processes that we have simulated so far is microscoping and the 10 times TB solution preparation, agarose gel preparation, electrophoresis, and centrifugation. Next slide, please. You see a screenshot of the new version of our virtual lab with the new graphics. We only have the microscope for the moment in this version. Next slide. Two more screenshots. The screenshot on the left is what you see when you use the microscope, when you look through the ocular lenses. And you can adjust the knobs to focus on the specimen and see the specimen more clearly. Next slide. And the additional features that we have been developing is one of full VR support, which is based on OpenXR, and intuitive interactions as well. And we have also developed the interactive object components. And you can see a diagram that displays the sequence of the interactions there. How we can compact some actions into more abstract sequences. And now we can play the video just to see a 2-minute video demo. This is the navigation. You press the switch, you rotate the knobs. You collect the specimen and put it on microscope stage. Now you look through the oculars. And you use the various knobs to focus. You use the coarse focus knob to lift the stage upwards, and this improves the focus. And you can also use another objective lens and increase the magnification. And you can use the fine focus knob for fine tuning. So you see this is quite realistic. It's exactly what you would do in an on-site virtual laboratory. Okay, that's all, I think.
Okay, thanks, Vasilis. I think that we can go to the next enabler.
So, thanks, Alessio. I'm Silvia Giordano from Subsi. Can you hear me?
Not really. Can you speak louder?
Okay, maybe let me remove the microphone. It's better now.
A bit better.
We can increase also the volume. Okay, better now?
Perfect.
Yes, you can go.
Okay, so we have seen the enabler presented by Alexandre about the facilitation for developers. Another issue that XR2Learn is trying to solve or at least mitigate is the distance between technology and people. And for this reason, in this project, we are enabling or allowing the use also of the emotions when a user is playing with the virtual reality. Basically, our concept is to have this virtual reality collecting also the emotions of people in order to better shape, better align the experiences with the emotion of the person. And in particular, we will see later that we try to use some educational theory in order to do that. So this, let's say, this experience, this emotion recognition aspect requires some quite huge data collection, because clearly this is done with machine learning algorithms. And the Magic X room actually is an environment where you can do basically this data collection. This was the main purpose for which the Magic X room was born. Actually, is now an application, a standalone application as well. But basically, this is an application developed in Unity, and the goal is to allow the emotional elicitation, so trying to trigger some emotion in people, and at the same time also the detection of emotions. And this is done in a control and consistent environment that clearly allow also to use algorithms and to use reasoning on that. So the application is something for allowing the user to have some experience on different scenarios. At the moment, we have 4 different scenarios where you have some tasks that are in increasingly difficult scale. And clearly, this is reflecting the different skills of people. So you increase in order to see how skilled is a person in a given task, and also to see how it adapts to different level of difficulties. And this is, as I said, related to a theory that is called the theory of flow, where you try to have experiences for people that are somehow not too difficult because they will provoke anxiety, but at the same time not too easy because this will generate a situation of boredom. So we have, as you can see from the picture, you have a virtual reality headset. In our case, we are using the Vive Room, the Vive Focus 3, and I will explain in a short while why we use this one, but any other can be used. And then we also use the Shimmer 3 GSR for collecting other type of sensing data. Next slide, please. Thank you. And so basically, as I said, there are 4 scenarios. The first one that is on top left is the staking cubes, where you have some cubes that you have to position, and they change in the different elements of this task in terms of difficulties, so the physical properties and the way you have to put them one on top of the other increase in difficulty with the levels. Then you have the canvas painting, that is a mini game of painting where you have to draw a specific shape and you have to stay within a given area. Sorry. And then you have a game on coloring words where you have to react fast to a request that is a request for selecting the right color of the cube. You have in front of you several cubes and you have to select the one that appears on the screen. It appears as in letters, but the color of the writing is different. So it tries to confuse the user. For example, you can have green, but written in orange, and then the user gets somehow confused, as you also have to react in a very short time. And last is the Tower of Hanoi. I think everybody knows this game. You have, in this case, you have 3 routes and, 3 routes and 3 discs. And you have to play with different configurations of increasing difficulties. Next, please. So about what is in the Magic's room and the type of data that you can collect. As I said, there is this Vive Focus 3 headset that is allowing to collect data on location and rotation. Then it's also enabled with a camera to collect face tracking data, and that's why we selected this type of equipment. And also eye tracking data with pupils location, focus target, and eye features. And then also the controllers that you have in your hands are allowing to collect location and rotation and to do triangulation with the headset. And you have the Shimmer to collect, again, location and rotation, but also acceleration and the GSR, the galvanic skin response, and then PPG and the heart rate. So you have a composed set of data that you can collect. And in order to, next slide, please, sorry. In order to have a consistent and unbiased data collection, we also developed a data collection protocol that you can see here that I will basically summarize without entering too much in details unless it's required. So basically you have a first phase with the devices, of course, to have devices working in the right way. Then you have, of course, a phase for the consensus, because we are collecting sensible data, so clearly it's needed, and some questionnaire pre-study. And then there is the interaction with the user, with the participant, in order to explain what are the devices, what he or she is going to do, etc. And then there is a relaxation period with the elements that I explained before, and the participant is warming up with this equipment, and then you start doing the experiments, and then the data collection also starts. And there are the 4 experiments, as I explained, and then at the end, there is collection of feedback from the user in order to have a sort of ground truth for the data analysis afterwards. And the user is able to somehow select the level of difficulties in real time. Next slide, please. So here I just show you some early results, because it took quite a while to align all the sensing technologies in the Magics room, because especially the camera part is very beta, and so the people here had to work quite a lot in order to be able to bring this to a level of the Magics room now. So we had some pilot testing with, we are having, sorry, pilot testing with 7 participants. 2 of them already participated to that, and the other will come in the coming days. So basically here you can see some data about the jaw and how much the person is opening and moving the jaw. And you can see the data collected quite intensively, so it's sort of crowded, very crowded, and you can see the histogram that is plotting the value. Next, please. And here you can see some results on 4 selected features that are the jaw forward, jaw right, jaw left, and jaw open. And you can see how they are clustered within this clusterable, sorry, in our data set with K-means and GMM. Next slide, please. Next slide, please.
There should be.
Okay, sorry. It was not appearing on my screen.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry. So in here again, some early results where you have some you see the correlation between different features. So you can see here on the right, on the column and on the row, both all the elements, and basically you can have also on the diagonal you actually have the histogram, while the others are the scatter plot of the correlation to show how they do correlate. And you can see that it's quite evident that the features are very distinguished from this plot. So they are some rich element for our data collection and in the future for algorithms and elicitation. And I think that's all from my side. Yes.
Okay, thank you to all three presenters for your presentation. So what we have seen so far is basically some ingredients that are below our platform that we want to create that can be used to ease the use of technologies, to start up with application and so on. So as a poll, I would like to ask the audience to provide the first feedback in terms of, from your perspective, what do you find relevant or interesting between these elements, the enabler, the beacon application, and the thing. So what do you think about them? This is important for us to understand also what we can improve, etc. Then, of course, I will give you a few minutes to do this exercise, so you can add your polling, etc. And then there will be also a session to make some questions and receive some answers from the three presenters. Okay, now there are still some people polling, so. Okay, well, what I see now is that, well, there is a great interest for the first one, that is probably the one that can really, as a starting point, to use and create some XR applications, but also the other three elements are quite, I mean, they raise some interest to the audience, so I think it's very good. I see some people still participating, so. Okay. Okay, I stop here. I think that the results are quite stable now, and I go to this second slide, where we can, again, using the Slido application, post your questions that will pop up in the screen now, and then we will address the three presenters in order to answer to your questions. No questions, or maybe it doesn't work. Or if you feel better to open your mic and make a question, no problem. Oh, people are really adopt this technology. Well, I think that we can start answering. I don't know, Alexandra, if you'd like to comment also Basili, Silvia, please feel free to answer.
Maybe I can answer on this.
Yeah, please.
So definitely people from the industrial world are adopting this technology, and actually they did have adopt this technology for years now. virtual reality was a thing even before it started to be a thing for the mass market for video games. Like we have been on this market for 15 years now at LS Group, but I'm sure that other partners can also relate with their experiences. And industrial manufacturers were already using immersive technologies. The difference back in the days was that these technologies were not cheap. It was not a few $100, it was $100,000 usually. So the entry ticket was not the same, but yeah, industrial people were already using virtual reality and testing their hypothesis in virtual reality because it was cheaper or safer to do so with the virtual world instead of risking maybe people's lives or money in using and building real thing before.
If I can add on, Benjamin, I would say that the real message is that Interact is democratizing virtual reality technology. So the project is really giving to everybody the possibility to write something in virtual reality. And clearly this is something completely different from having to, let's say, enter the virtual reality market with the need of having good knowledge. And in addition to that, the fact that we are trying to keep the technology close to the users with the part on emotion recognition is giving a novel flavor to this technology, because it will not be as distant as technologies are usually, but like it is also in the world of games, where the game is somehow adapting to the people. Here, in this case, we want the educational path to adapt to people in order to have them to get the best experience, like a very good teacher could do.
Thanks very much. Maybe you can start to think to the second question. I think is very important. How much time does it require to prepare the VR experiment as a reference? If you can provide some insights on this. In the meantime, I will answer to the ones related to the marketplace. Yes, the idea is that this technology will be available through the marketplace, as you will see later what is now the current stage of the marketplace and when will be ready to be used. So this will go to the next presentation. And regarding also, just to add, regarding also the market situation, of course, there are at the moment in the market some segments that are more mature, ready to XR technologies. Imagine aerospace, automotive industry are probably at the moment the most advanced in terms of adopting XR technology in reality. But it's populating, and between the different use cases that you can imagine, education is at the moment at the top. So many European industries, I must say probably at the moment the large companies, are adopting XR technology, but also medium companies are adopting XR technology or augmented reality or virtual reality solution to teach their workers.
Can I add one thing, Alessio?
Yes, please.
About the use cases, I think it's somehow straightforward to use it also for other fields. For example, we have been working together to use it in a sort of social area where we were somehow trying to understand how a manager is thinking when it hires new people. So during the job interviews, in order to see, to show to the people the bias that they do have, for example, with respect to female or male applicants and this type of things. So, and this has been already done, and it comes I would say very, very easily. It's technology is the most straightforward one, because it's where you have a lot of very complex and costly equipment. So as was presented by Vasilis, not all the people have the possibility to have a lab and enter a lab for experiences. And this is solving this issue very easily, but any other field can benefit from that.
Yeah, and this answer also to this question, thanks, Silvia. So if there are other use cases not really technical specific, yes, there are, and Silvia gave a couple of examples. So I would like to answer to the question about the how much does it require to prepare the WAR experiments. I don't know if Vasilis or Alexander, you would like to answer to this question, just to give an idea.
Maybe I can give an idea.
Okay,
It depends of the kind of experience you are building. If you just want to show and to see your 3D model in virtual reality, Interact allows you to do it in a matter of minutes. If you want to create a little bit more complicated experience, like step-by-step mounting experience like Alexandre presented before, once again, it depends on the tools that you are using. And for example, Interact, the goal of Interact is to help shorten this time and make it easier. And you can have a rich mounting and dismounting experience within a couple of days, maybe. Whereas if you don't use a specific framework as Interact to do this, you would need high-skilled developers. You will need more time to create this kind of experience. So it highly depends on what your use case is, but the goal is that for the use case that we presented, it's a short amount of time that you need.
Okay. Since there is this question on Interact, Benjamin, if you can also address it.
There is no short-term plan to support standalone headsets like the MetaQuest 2 or MetaQuest 3, for example. But you can use these headsets connected to a PC, because Interact only works on PC and Windows for now. There is no short-term plan for supporting standalone headsets, but it's something that we keep in mind for the future. Okay,
thank you. I think we address all the question. Yes, so maybe we can go to the next session. Oh, no, sorry. Mistake. So the next session will be related to the digital platform, so the marketplace, that will be the main front end of the solution. I give the floor to Felicia, I guess.
Yes, that's right. So hello everyone, I'm Felicia Melisari from Synergy Solutions, and as Alessio said, I will be presenting the XR2Learn platform. So the XR2Learn platform will be the central hub where you can have access to all the business and technical support services provided by the project. Below you can see from where you have access to the 4 main services, the catalog, the XR2Learn marketplace, the community forum, and the wiki. I will be going through them shortly. Next slide, please. I'm sorry, I guess my volume is not that great. I will try to fix it. Is that right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Maybe I remove the headphones if that's better. Is it any better now?
The voice, yes, there is some noise.
Okay. Sorry, I have a bass. I might need to remove it. Is it better now?
Yes.
Give me a moment and I will proceed. Okay, you can have access to our XR2Learn platform by registering through our register form that you can see on the right side of the screen. And of course, any other time you need to access the platform, you can just sign in using the credentials you just created. Next slide, please. So here you can see a sneak peek of our platform, I guess. This is the page that you're greeted with when first signing to the platform. So here it guides you a bit to the contents of its tab, so you can know what you can find and where. And for the next part of the presentation, I will be going through the different tabs that you can see there and what they offer you. So next slide, please. And we'll be starting with the XR2Learn catalog. So the XR2Learn catalog will be the main access point where you can access everything that XR2Learn has to offer. So every asset, every technology or knowledge you will be able to find here. So here you can see an example of a software repository, that is the Beacon Application 3. You were presented today with 1 and 2, and this is the other one. And it's just an example of a registration on the catalog. You will be able to find some software repositories, you will be able to find educational content and marketplace assets. And what is even more, you can also register your own content here so other users will be able to find them. So perhaps you have developed an XR software and you want to be featured on XR2Learn. So you go through the button of add an item, and through a very simple process, you will be able to register your content here. It provides you tools to be able to search for specific content by the title of the content, and you can narrow down your search through some sorting of the asset type that you can see here. And the information provided per asset will be the title, a description, so it lets you know what this type of asset has to offer, and the source where you can access it. Next slide, please. Now you will know about the XR2Learn Marketplace. This will be the place where you'll be able to exchange content and creations. It's the place where XR innovators and creators can advertise and sell their work while being remunerated fairly. And this is done because the XR2Learn Marketplace is powered by blockchain. So what you can do in the XR2Learn Marketplace, you can create, of course, new items to register there. You can buy items which will be enabled by blockchain, so they will be tokenized as non-fungible tokens. And to explain very shortly what non-fungible tokens are, they're basically proofs of authorship or ownership that are backed up by blockchain. And they can be accompanied by some licenses, as we will talk a bit later. And of course, you can download content for free. Also, you are able to save some items for later, so maybe you can look through them and buy them later. You can apply filters and sorting, and you can display your creations through the portfolio that we're also going to see a bit later. Next slide, please. So here you see the main page, let's say, of the marketplace, where we have some assets already here for you to see. For example, we have Enabler 1, Beacon App 1, or Beacon App 3 that are NFTs for this example. So on the marketplace, you will be able to find everything that is listed here, but also search through specific content by name. Each item on the marketplace will have can have some tags. For example, for this case, we have XR, Learn, and 3D, and so you can search content by tag, and also you can search content by type. So what types of assets will the marketplace feature? So as you can see here, it will be able to support massive open online courses that will be powered by the SkillsMove platform. It can have datasets, 3D models, and software that can be repositories or zip files. And also, as you can see on the button on the top right corner, you can also create items that you can distribute either for free for other users to download, or as NFTs that I talked about later. And you are going to provide it with a list of licenses that you can choose the most appropriate for your case to accompany your NFT. And the process to create an NFT is, or an item in the marketplace in general, is very simple and intuitive, and it does not require any knowledge on your side about blockchain or NFTs. Just the need to have a digital wallet, and you will be able to find resources about that. Next slide, please. Here you can see an example of a portfolio. This one is a bit simple. It does not have many materials, but you can enrich your own. So you can have a profile photo, or even branding materials of a project or a company. And you can have also links to your social media, website, blog, or anything that you wish your those that visiting your portfolio would like to know about you. And you can see on the right that they can see the content that you own, marketplace assets that you own or you have created. Next slide, please. Here you can see our wish list. This is the place where anything you like on the marketplace, you will be able to find later, or you can remove items, buy them. It's just keep safe. Next slide, please. So we also provide a community forum. This is the place where you gather to and exchange ideas. Here, for example, you can discuss anything XR or education related. You can collaborate. You can post your problems and other people can provide solutions. This is the place basically you gather and communicate with like-minded individuals. And it is based on Discord, so many of you might have already used it as it's supported by many popular platforms. And of course, you can sign into this community forum using the credentials that you created in the slides that we showed first, and your XR2Learn credentials. Or you can create new credentials just for the purpose of the community forum. Next slide, please. Lastly, but not least, we provide the XR2Learn wiki. This is the place when you will be able to find all the documentation and resources about the XR2Learn tools like beacon applications and enablers, and as well as about the platform and the marketplace. You can find guides, tutorials, and resources, and even about blockchain and NFTs in general, how to create a wallet. This is the place when you'll be able to find all of this information. And in the picture below, you can see an example of the first tutorial for the XR2Learn platform that it just guides you through what the platform basically offers. Next slide, please. So when to expect the platform, we expect to have a soft release of the platform, let's say by the end of January, and the first official launch of the platform will be at the end of February. So that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, Felicia, just to add here is that, as you can see, we start to open the creation of awareness about our solution. At the moment, when we release the first production version, you can start to use the platform, browse, check, etc. But of course, will be quite empty, let's say, because you can see the application that we created in the project, the enablers that we have in the project. But then the idea is to grow up, and we have a couple of strategies to do it. The first one is related to engage with other developers, organizations that produce contents related to education and training. And we will do by what we call open calls. So the project will fund third parties to produce contents for our marketplace. The second one is to really create a community of, or better, LinkedIn community that are interested to the topic, and they could be eager to produce, contribute, use the solution that will be in this marketplace. So this is very important, also this second stream. So in this view, I reopen the session related to the questions. Unfortunately, it doesn't clear the previous one, but you can produce new question. And first of all, I will ask you to ask anything to Felicia or to the rest of the consortium related to the marketplace. You have specific questions.
Also, a small note, as Alessio mentioned at first, this is a very general webinar. It's just an introduction, so I did not go through the very specific details and process of the digital platform and the marketplace. And of course, content and tutorials will be coming that are more specific to this case.
Yeah, so please, if you have additional question related to the marketplace or the platform, digital platform that we can address now, please, now you can use the tool. Okay, it seems
Can I
we
ask
are...
something?
Oh, yes, please.
Short question. Do you expect anything specific from the projects funded by the XR2Learn initiative on the platform or the marketplace or on the wiki?
It is not required, but we highly recommend you that you can use our platform, for example, to post software repositories of your projects on the XR2Learn catalog, or you can distribute content on the XR2Learn marketplace. It could be a tutorial for how to use your application, for example, on the SkillsMove platform that you can distribute as an asset on the marketplace, or even as an NFT, your 3D models, datasets that you used, or anything, your software repositories. You can do that.
Thank you.
I can answer to this question. So do you plan to publish XR funding opportunities too? Yes. Okay. I mean, I kind of anticipated there has been a first opportunity open in September, more or less, that is now closed. So there is a first bunch of sub-project that has been created and funded, but there will be a new open call later this year. So stay tuned because there will be also funding opportunities related to this project.
Alessio, I can answer the question that we have on the screen here.
Yeah, okay.
So what is the reason why it's not supported yet in standalone headsets natively? So you talk about Interact, probably. Interact is only one of the bricks that will compose the XR2Learn platform. Of course, within the platform, while the content will grow, it will have examples of experiences that will be compatible with standalone headsets. Interact is one of the tools, and currently this tool is not supported on standalone headsets. The reason is mostly due to performances and for the specific physics engine that we are using. For now, it requires Windows to be used.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Felicia, may ask you a question just to deep dive in an element that I think is quite important to differentiate a bit our platform compared to maybe other general purpose marketplace is related to the use of NFT technology. If you can just add a few words since we have time.
So basically, other NFT marketplaces support very limited set of assets that you can list there, and they're usually not very XR focused. So, for example, one of the most popular cases is the OpenSea marketplace, where you just you can list their audio, images, but the set is very limited. So here we offer you the chance to post NFTs of 3D models, of software, of data sets. That is something unique to the other marketplaces. And also we will be supporting two types of networks, Ethereum and Polygon. For those of you who might not know, Ethereum is one of the most popular networks, but so you can list your content there if you wish them to have greater audience reach. But we also support Polygon, which has very low cost, so it will be more accessible to you and to your users to buy your content and you posting your content there. So I guess this will be my answer.
Okay, thanks. So in the meantime, we receive a new question. The marketplace feature buy in free application. Does this mean that you will include commercial tool or applications? Felicia?
So what I mean by buy is that you will be able to post your content as an NFT. And as I mentioned before, by posting your content as an NFT for other users to buy, you can accompany it by specific licenses. This license will be of your choice depending on your of the context of your use case, I guess. And we will have a predefined list of licenses that you will be able to choose from. So I wish that this answers the question. Free, of course, is for other users to directly download and use for any case. But with a license, you can define somehow how these applications are going to be used.
Great, thank you. Okay, maybe we can go to the last poll of today. So the question is now, you have seen some elements of the solution, the marketplace at the top and the enablers at the bottom, some applications that can be created. So what I would like to ask you, on the basis of what you have seen so far, of course, we can deep dive in different directions according to the different stakeholders, but according to what you have seen so far, would you like to be involved with the XR2Learn solutions? Meaning, I would like to become a potential user when the platform will be ready, easy to use. I would like to be a contributor or a partner, so improve the current features with new solution. Or you would have, but you are interested to the topic, but maybe you would like to see some new features, and maybe later on you can also suggest which features you would like to see in addition to those that you have seen so far. Or at least you are not sure, or you're not interested at all. That this is also an important element to us to understand. But yes, the point here is just to get a feedback, a feeling of what you have seen so far, and this also will drive our next activities in order to maybe create some partnership with tech providers, so some specific hands-on session in order to teach you or show you how to use the platform as a technical provider. Or maybe you can say, okay, I have a nice idea about this application, but I don't know how to do it. So you can contact us, and then we can create maybe a specific workshop or specific one-to-one meeting in order to see how to develop the solution together with you. That's the point of, the idea of this next series of events that we would like to create. So maybe I'm kindly asked to the whole audience to provide their feedback at this stage, just to have an idea. Okay, still more time to vote, please. Okay. Maybe I have a point for myself. Next time we can put some music, so you can encourage people to poll, and then in the meantime listen to some music in order to avoid empty spaces. Okay, I think that we got some feedback. I see a good result in terms of potential users and contributor of partners. Don't be scared about the numbers, because you can, of course, provide additional, so more than one answer. So this is why the sum is not 100. I see that someone can suggest some additional features. So maybe I will ask you later on to open the mic and provide your feedback in this direction, because it will be very interesting and important for us. I accept that. No, I am happy that also people are not sure. I understand, because Probably in the future will be more deep dive presentation in order to show how to use the platform, what are the benefits and so on. So we will try to, I'll give you more details on this. I'm very happy that no one is saying no to the answer. Okay, thank you again for your polling. We are moving to the final part of this webinar, and I will shortly give you some ideas. I anticipated a bit before about the strategies that we will have to create in order to create a community around the platform. Of course, we are aware that already there are many existing communities related to XR technologies, tech developers, forum, communities, and so on. Indeed, about education and technical developers and organization. There are many communities that discuss, etc. And in some communities, there are also some interest about the use of XR technologies. Our idea is to create awareness, create opportunities in order for this community to meet each other, and hopefully, why not, use the XR2Learn one in order to create a common point where to discuss. So, as I will repeat later on, please subscribe to our newsletter or subscribe to our social networks. This will be our starting point for creating this community. And also, if you are aware of some people that could be relevant or interested to the solution, I mean, make a multiplier effect and ask them to join this, to share with them these elements, the social networks and the newsletter. So we'll create this linking between the different communities. At the moment, based on this, our current objectives, I'm saying now, we want to do is to try to mobilize a bit what we call early adopters and multipliers. So try to create awareness and start to create some interest to the topics that you have seen today, and ask you to be linked to the project. And then, of course, extend the audience of the possible user of the platform. And given the result we have seen so far, I think there is a good element. Collect feedback, very important. This will be the first appointment, but there will be others one where you can meet us, provide your feedback, suggestion, and so on, and support in order to support in order to use the platform. So some hands-on sessions, some dedicated workshop, or one-to-one session in order to make your first step on using the platform. You see the first official release will be in February. And then once you start to see and use the platform, also become you promoter for us. What are the benefits of becoming an early adopter? Of course, the first is that you will be part of our community. You will be a European visibility in our platform. We are going to present the platform in different events, and we can also present who are the early adopters of our platform. And then, of course, have the opportunity to influence the development of the platform. Of course, we have a first release, but it's not the last release. There will be improvements in the future, integration with new features, and you can have a word on this. So you can also suggest some direction, some application, some enabler to be improved. Of course, during this period, we are an European project, so there will be that will be running at least for other 2 years. So you have the opportunity to use the platform for free, because we cannot, or we could, but we cannot sell services at the moment. But you can start to use it and play with it for the next 2 years. And then once, because our objective is to release officially the platform and use it after the end of the project, we are still discussing, but there will be the opportunity to have some discounts for early adopters to be on top or to use the platform. And then, of course, as I was saying before, you can also influence the creation of some your own application, because we can see that you have a great interest to create a demonstration related to this specific element or a specific application. We can discuss and see how to implement it. I'm repeating myself on this. How to engage with the project? Well, as a first step, I would strongly suggest to subscribe to our newsletter and to our social networks. You will see the links below in the next slide. There will be additional webinars that will be more focused. So we will maybe focus on the technical aspects and to engage with developers. And there will be others that are more related to final users, so educators and so on, that can be interested to adopt the XR technology in their training or educational activities. You can meet us at physical events. There will be an event for instance, in February, mid-February in Turin. Is for an Italian fair that you can participate. There will be a session dedicated to adoption of XR technology in education and training. Then there will be a workshop in Paris that we are planning to do around the 20th of March. And there will be present in other fairs, like the moment the one that is scheduled in Laval Virtual, I think is in Paris as well, in April. These are the kind of element, but during through our newsletter, our social network, we will keep updating you. This is why it is very important that you can subscribe. Okay, I think that we close. I mean, this was the elements that we want to discuss today. There is no more poll, but there is still time to get feedback. So also related to the previous poll, for instance, if you have some ideas, suggestions, your thoughts about the application, just feel free to open your mic and provide your feedback. So for instance, just to break just to invite the ones that in the previous poll were interested, but they would like to see more features. Maybe now is very good time to suggest what type of features you would like to see, what are of, I don't know, elements, applications, whatever you think is relevant that could be implemented in platform in order to be successful. Okay, no questions, so maybe just the last call to questions, feedbacks. Please just make, because I cannot see the chat, so if you can just open your mic and provide feedback or...
Okay, Alessio, it's Luke from XR2Learn. I just wanted to ask if everybody's okay if we take one group photo for dissemination purposes.
Sorry, say again, because I wasn't, couldn't hear you.
I just wanted to ask if everybody's okay with us taking a group photo for dissemination purposes.
Ah, okay, yes, that's a very nice deal.
So everybody who wants to appear in the photo can turn on their camera.
In the meantime, just a second, I will give you, you see now in this slide, but you can also access to our website. You will see all the links in order to reach out with us. First of all, LinkedIn, and say that there will be also Twitter, or X now it's called, YouTube, and if you have any specific question that you would like to address, there is also our direct email. You can write us and ask additional details, provide your feedback, whatever. Okay. I've stopped my sharing, so. Okay. So Wook, is up to you to arrange the final picture.
Yes, so everybody please smile, just take a second. So I've said Okay, I think we are good to go. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you very much again to everyone, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Alessio. Very interesting.
Thank you, John.
Have a nice day.
See you.
Bye bye.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.